Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Very good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to convey my gratitude to Dr. Tawat and then Associate Professor Dr. Payap Masniam for the invitation to share about the risk management in Islamic financial institution. I think it's an honor for me to stand before of you, in front of you, to share about the risk management. Okay, first of all, okay. Okay. I would like to start with the introduction. What is Islamic economic and finance? As someone or people who admit that we have religion, especially or particularly Islam, we always know that everything comes from the God is the best for us. So, if we talk about the Islam economy, we have to start with the source of the Islamic economy. Before that, I want to share about about the Islam itself. We know that Islam have we have three parts here, Akidah, Syariah, and Akhlak. We all know that. It's okay. Okay. Akidah is the core relationship between man and the Creator, the God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And then the other one, Syariah, is the transformation and manifestation of Akidah into action. Akhlak is the behavior, attitude, and work ethic of a human. So if someone have Akidah and follow the Sharia, they will have good akhlak or behavior. And then talking about the Sharia, we have two parts, where are ibadah and muamalah. Ibadah is the way people worship their God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and then muamalat is business transaction, the way people interact with other in terms economic and non-economic activities. So this is about the Islam itself. We know Akidah, Syariah, Akhlak, and then part of that. And then now we are continuing with the core value of the Islamic financial institution, not just for the bank but for the another institution, something like such as insurance, cooperative, and so on. First, all principle of Sharia should be part of man's obedience and worshiping God. So every activities should be part of the man's obedience and worshiping God. Since we are the Khalifatullah fil ard, we are just vicegerent of the God. So all of we have done in the world here will take responsibility in the akhirat. So the first core value is man's obedience and worshiping God. And then every Syariah contract should aim to improve the welfare and people and societies. So if someone has a relationship between Islamic cooperative and then they do not have benefit, we have to think again about the relationship, because every Syariah contract should aim to improve the welfare, not make it worse, especially to the customers. And then businessmen have to have trust. So trust is a must, especially if we talk about mudarabah and musyarakah. Trust is a must. We have to support each other and sharing risk. And then we all know that prohibition of riba is the part of the core value. Riba, gharar, maisir, zulm, haram, and fair business transaction. Sometimes we do not concern about the halal and haram because the lack of knowledge. Yeah, we do not know that the transaction is not permissible if we back to the Quran or the Hadith. So if we want to find someone, especially in a cooperative, we have to ensure that our product is halal product or halal transaction, because here we have to avoid riba, gharar, maisir, zulm, haram, and unfair business transaction. And then final target is falah. Falah is prosperity here and hereafter, dunia akhirat, materi and immateri. And then referring to Islamic law, Quran, Hadith, Ijtihad, Ijma, Qiyas, and so on. We also know we honoring property right, individual and social obligation, work and self-interest, encouraging working hard, bless wealth, not unlawful wealth. Blessed wealth means comes from the halal transaction. And then healthy competition. The ultimate owner of all property is God. Human is only his vision. Obligation to pay zakah and highly suggested to pay sadaqah, wakaf, hadiah, infak, etc. Okay, we are talking about types and characteristic of Islamic or risk in Islamic banking operation. Why we talk about risk management in Islamic banking? Because we can compare the risk management in Islamic banking with the cooperative. We all know that the our banking industry is the most rigid industry. So many regulations. So I hope if we look in the banking perspective in risk management, we can face what we want to do in the cooperative. So we will have mitigation and then all what we have to do in the transaction. Okay, let's start with the risk management. Successfulness of financial institution in managing fund and providing well expected return to stakeholder. Islamic cooperative have stakeholders. Islamic cooperative have someone or people who put money, as a member of the cooperative, and then extend the money or the fund to the another member or customer. So if we talk about the risk management in Islamic cooperative, we also talking about managing fund and providing well expected return to stakeholder. It prevent a bank from financial failure, insolvency, liquidity distress, and build a good communication coordinating with stakeholder. Maybe we can talk it later. And then it measures and explain every type of risk which will allow a bank or the institution to take necessary action to anticipate and mitigate any risk. Okay. Risk in financial term is usually defined as probability that actual return may differ from the expected return. There are in fact three broad categories of risk, namely financial risk, business risk, and lastly operational risk. We have a picture risk from the Tariqullah Khan here. He divided into three: financial risk, business risk, and operational risk. Which financial risk consists of credit risk, market risk, and then liquidity risk. And then business risk consists of management risk, strategic risk. Operational risk consists of people risk, legal system risk, and external risk. And then the last, equity investment risk. We can see this. Risk can be expressed within a causal and interactive system as the impact of each risk cannot be seen isolated, since they correlate and influence each other. So we have to look holistic, integrated, not one by one. Financial risk is the exposure that results in a direct financial loss to the asset or liability of a bank or financial institution. Besides credit, market risk, and liquidity risk, Islamic bank face equity investment risk. So if we look at this statement, we can see that maybe most people think that Islamic financial institution is more risky than conventional ones. But let me explain that basically Islamic financial institutions have the product that can protect itself from the risk. If we talk about maybe credit risk, relates to the performance of entrepreneur, failure to fulfill their payment obligation, settlement, clearing, etc. If we talk credit risk in terms of mudarabah or musyarakah financing, we have to assist the customer day to day so that they can make the profit or earn profit without any undisclosure, or we can say that there's nothing to hide in the customer side, so that there is no any asymmetric information that we have. So if we talk about financial risk and credit risk, we have actually a system or product that can protect themselves from the risk. Something like when we talk about the murabah transaction. Do you think murabah transaction can make or can be misconduct by the customer. I mean, we know about the side streaming, right? Side streaming means what in Melayu? Side streaming. Side streaming means use the fund improper. So if you ask the bank or the cooperative for let's say buy something, car, and then finally the customer does not buy the car but use the fund or the money for another purpose, something like for traveling, something like that. If we talk about murabah can protect themselves from the side streaming or improper purpose, because in murabah Islamic financial institution has to give or to deliver goods, not the money. So if we look from the conventional side, maybe we can see that is in Islamic financial institution more complicated and more risky. But if we look deeply in the transaction, as I said before, we know that mostly the Islamic financial institution product will protect itself. So I think we do not hesitate to still give the customer with the Sharia way, I think with the Sharia contract, because it's more less of risk. Okay. Market risk happens due to unfavorable price movement of economic financial conditions, such risk of return, rate of return risk, exchange rate, and etc. And then liquidity risk consists of two parts: liquidity of financial instrument and liquidity related to solvency. Talking about the liquidity risk, in the conventional financial institution, we know that we always find the mismatch between asset and liabilities. In the bank, for example, in the bank, when someone put money, maybe in deposito or the deposit, the longest tenor is 1 year or 12 months. And then when the bank give financing to the customer, the shortest one 12 months or 1 year. So naturally, in the conventional financial institutions such as bank, they have mismatch of asset and liability management. If we talk about Islamic financial institution such as Mudharabah, because if someone want to put money in the Islamic financial institution such as Islamic bank, usually we use Mudharabah contract. And if we remember about what had happened in the Prophet era or Sahabat, if someone wants to invest money to the entrepreneur, they must know the tenor of the business. They have to know the cycle of the business, and we will know that hardly they withdraw the money before the contracts finish. So if we talk about liquidity risk in Islamic bank, as long as we have the same product with the conventional one, we have the longest deposit tenor about 12 months or 1 year, and then we have the tenor of the financing at least 1 year. I think we will face more risk compared to the conventional one. So I just want to show you that if we talk about liquidity risk again, yeah, the Islamic banking or Islamic financial institution product will protect themselves from the risk if we want to do what the Rasulullah have done in that era and Sahabat. The problem is when the regulation comes from the conventional ones, so we just mirroring the conventional activities. So this is the main problem of Islamic financial institution. We just do the conventional transaction, yeah, with the Sharia package. I think we have to move on from this and then think out the box, and we have determined our own risk. And then business risk, yeah, links with the performance of the bank business, internal actions such as business policy, infrastructure, payment system, etc. Yeah. Management risk, which asks how is banking planning, organizing, monitoring, reporting, etc. And strategic risk is the like R&D product design. Operational risk, of course, if a bank fail to manage people, yeah, same as Islamic cooperative, we have the same, yeah, the same risk here: people, legal, system, internal, external risk, and equity. And the Islamic financial institution, yeah, as I mentioned before, have another risk, yeah, something like withdrawal risk, when depositor take out their money for regular or irregular reasons. If we just mirroring to the conventional one, we have to face withdrawal risk. But if we follow the mudarabah, when the depositor or the investment have to follow the contract with the entrepreneur, I think we don't have withdrawal risk. And then fiduciary risk, when Islamic banks operates un-Islamically or violating Sharia principle, and displays commercial risk when the depositors switch their deposit into conventional one, which offer more profitable and attractive return. I think all of this, yeah, is all about the matching between assets and liabilities. We have to match between assets and liabilities so that we don't have lack of the tenor. Okay. Islamic contract, yeah, require depositor to fully understand consequence of dealing with Islamic bank, particularly no guarantee, fixed return on deposit, no return on demand deposit, periodical withdrawal on long-term time deposit, and risk return sharing. Yeah. Okay. So that is, we have to know that people, okay, who dealing with the Islamic financial institution has to fully understand the consequences. Yeah. And then we are talking now about the Indonesia experience. Yeah. Risk in Islamic Bank. Yeah. Indonesia have several regulation. Yeah. Dealing with the risk in Islamic Bank. We know that we launched the regulation from the Central Bank and OJK, yeah, Financial Service Authority, about the robustness level of the bank. So if we talk about the risk management in Indonesia, we have risk government, yeah, risk management pillars, 4 pillars, yeah, active commissioning, yeah, for the commissioner, director, and then the policy procedure, yeah. And then the disclosure of the risk management. And then the last, I want to share about the Syariah National Board in Indonesia. We have unique framework of Syariah governance in the world, because Indonesian model of Syariah governance stand out from this model due to its complete independence and freedom from any potential direct conflict of interest between the Syariah scholar and the industry stakeholders. While this model is unique and technically better than the known other models, it also has a number of weaknesses that are adversely impacting the financial industry in the country. I think all of my presentation, because I don't think I have much more time. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for all of this. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.